Good evening and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP and joining me on this Monday dial-in, festive dial-in should we call it, is my good man and a good friend of Sean Maloney. With another wee Sippery hoodie on tonight. That is indeed our man Ryan Clifford. How are you, Ryan? It's good to see you. Nice to see your fresh face, mate. Wasn't so fresh the last time, I seen it right enough. And hi, how are you? Hope you had a nice weekend.
No, I was no fresh on Friday, shall I say, but no, all good, mate. All good after a wee shindig at the weekend. Good laugh, good night, and then obviously the game at the weekend. Maybe not so great, but I'm looking forward to chat again. It's always good to get back on here and talk to the viewers and yourself and just talk about the game. And it is obviously the festive period now, so it's getting to that time where a lot of people winding down for a walk and stuff like that. So it's that time of year, mate, where everything just happens and people relax and enjoy themselves, and that's the way it should be. Life's for living, mate. So, but obviously the weekend wasn't great, but I'm sure we'll touch into it. But I'm good, mate. Hope you're well as well. And let's just say I'm fresher than I was at the weekend.
You were in good form on Friday, mate. I'll give you that. I hope everybody's well. It's tuning in with us. Good evening and Merry Christmas to those who maybe don't want to comment, and all the best to everyone as well. I'll say that again at the end, don't worry. Got some early comments tonight, and evening JP, Ryan and the chat. Jerry Burns coming in as well. Evening JP, Ryan and fellow Celts. Stevie's in as well. He says good evening and a Merry Christmas, JP, Ryan and fellow Tims. Hail, hail. Merry Christmas to yourself as well, pal, and your family. Yeah, and the reason why we're all here is another Monday night. As we said, it is a dial-in. We've got some callers coming in and having a wee chat about Celtic's recent game up at Tannadice, Ryan. Unfortunately, the Hoops draw a blank and they were unable to score in what was probably from the outside looking in pretty much a damp squib for the Celtic fans, mate.
We dominated the game. I think it was 80% possession, I think, something like that. Just didn't really do much with it. Missed a few chances, but it was one of the games where you could, the longer it was gone, you were like, nah, this is just not happening for us. And listen, look, I can be really critical or I can try and be positive if I can. I don't know if I can be positive, but I don't want to sit and hammer them too much, because what we have done in a calendar year, I think we've only lost 2 games a calendar year. We've lost 1 game this season. It's a Dortmund game. So we can be critical, but I don't think we can be. I don't want to be too critical. I could hammer every player that played and say this was it, but you can't go through every player, because you'll find faults in every player in the world at certain parts of the game. So but I do believe that, I did say to you at the weekend, I've said to a lot of people personally, that a result like that was coming because the performance level wasn't consistently in a good level. Bits and bobs of games were good, but weren't consistent the last few weeks. So, and if you're not consistent, the performance levels are maybe getting up a wee notch, then you're probably going to drop points. So I'm no glad.
Feel as if you're struggling for words, wee man.
No, I'm not wanting to be too harsh here. So, in a way, it's happened now. I'd rather it happen now than maybe like the second, if that makes sense. So I'd rather like that. That's maybe the reset now. Listen, we've dropped points now. We need to up it now. We're at Celtic Park and Boxing Day, full crowd. Hopefully, we need to then up it. But I think we can see there's some frailties to maybe the squad. I think we can see now maybe some of the guys who had their chance didn't happen. We can't win every game, but you expect maybe performance levels to be a wee bit better. But I think some of the comments I've seen, you would think that's the league finished, and as Kyogo no good enough now and things like that. He's not had the best of spells. Yes, he's only scored a few goals this year, but listen, that's not him a bad player tonight. It's the same way McGregor. Listen, McGregor's been at it for weeks, but he's not a bad player. listen, people go through spells and maybe as a wee kick up the bum that we do need, that we're not going to play well every game and win every game, but I wasn't happy with the performance, right? It was one of the games. I know the win was bad as well, but I don't want to use that as an excuse. We had the chances to win the game and we weren't clinical enough. I think, for me, JP, I think the players that maybe some of the guys that stepped in or come off the bench who stepped in, maybe not good enough, and I think it could be the last we see some of them personally, but I don't be a fair on the game, mate. But overall, wasn't great, and I think we'll maybe the squad's not as strong as we think in terms of quality wise.
Yeah, obviously we'll get some more comments coming in as you were chatting away there for half an hour, wee man. Obviously we're good man, Mr. Wally Com. He says, hail, hail lads, and a Merry Christmas from all the VAR room. I thought that was tremendous, yeah, for Wally. Cheers for joining us tonight. Also, checking in on your team as well. It's also good, mate, to get your thoughts, and it's always good to have you with us, Wally. And Jem, just same sentiment as yourself. They can't win every game they play. No team can. I think I've said this to you lads numerous times, Ryan. I think that'd be that's a very tall order, mate, to ask Celtic to win every single game. I know they're a good side, but let's be honest, they're not going to do that. And no, I think you're bang on, mate. I don't think there's any particular reason or any way, shape or form can we criticise them. Like he says, 2 defeats in the calendar year, let alone anything else. One of them wasn't even domestically. The other one was against Hearts, where the Yang get sent off. Obviously, the game at Tynecastle. We were actually in the pub that day watching that game. Another one of your days out. Aye, with another one on Friday as well. So,
but to be fair, I think I was still drunk the night before that night.
Aye, you were out the night before. James McMullen. Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Same to yourself, pal. Hope you have a nice time when it comes. Jerry Burns right in there. Yang was terrible, not Celtic class. John Clifford coming in as well. I can't take any more of Yang in the hoops. Sounds like the lads were the only singing ginger were on that bleacher at the weekend. The lad is just not at the level required. Who sanctioned a 5-year deal for him and need to sell him. Yeah, we'll come to that, obviously. Alexander Ferguson, he's wanting to find out if there'll be any Celtic fans going to Ibrox on the 2nd of January. No, there won't be. The idea, Alexander, is this game will go by now with no travelling support, and then they're going to look to get fans in from the next game at Celtic Park, which I think's the 15th of March, right? If my memory's
roughly, aye.
Serves me right, aye. So no, mate, there'll be no fans at all. Big Jason used to be on the podcast. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. 3 shots on goal in 96 minutes is absolutely unacceptable. It's a bad day at the office, I would say. Aye, 100%. It doesn't look good. But again, you're talking about a side tier, like I've just mentioned, man, that, you know, they're going to have days like that. That you know, any Celtic fan that thinks Celtic are going to go through the season just battering teams out their way, get out of your head now, man. You know, there is going to be, I wouldn't say, I think the word unacceptable, in my opinion, is maybe the wrong word, Jason. I think maybe it's poor on the day, a bad day at the office, 100%. To say it's unacceptable means it's not allowed to happen. Well, it is allowed to happen, but it can happen. That's the thing. These things can happen. And that's football, mate. You know, no team deserves the right just to turn up and win every single match. I know it's Celtic, but we are the standard bearers of Scottish football. We're the most successful in Scottish football. But that doesn't mean to say that we're going to have off days here and there. Any Celtic fan that doesn't think that's possible, in my opinion, that's crazy itself. Even saying that in my own head. There is going to be days where they're just not at it. Yesterday was one of those days. And we're not talking about one or two. We're talking about collectively as a team here as well. I don't know, just for me, that, you know, the unacceptable word there is a tad harsh in my opinion. Ryan, I'm going to be honest, mate. I think it's a tad harsh to be critical and start going through everybody. I mean, okay, it's a bad day at the office. Certainly the way Rodgers was acting, you know, it's one of those ones you tick a box off, you dust yourself off and we go again on Boxing Day, mate. And I think that's where we need to get into this mindset now, because these games are coming thick and fast. There isn't a winter break. So it's a case of we dust ourselves off and we try and keep ourselves motoring forward. I don't think it's going to damage us. I don't think it's going to do anything to be detrimental in my season, or you know. But yeah, as I said, it's one of those ones, Ryan, where I think I've seen a lot of things being said on social media, mate, where I think it's very, very harsh. Yeah, but obviously, wee Wally's back in again there. He's the only Celtic-minded ref in the VAR team at Ibrox as well, so we're looking forward to that. I actually had an inkling you were going to say that, and obviously I found out, obviously on the day, Wally, that some of your colleagues are going to be with you as well, which is actually quite interesting, to be fair. So obviously that's the rest of the VAR team that will be with Wally on the day at the 2nd of January. Ryan, I don't know about you, mate, but I don't think they could have picked a better team for that day, mate.
That's the fabulous trio, isn't it? But I do agree with Jason to a certain degree in terms of, for me, I think we only had 1 or 2 shots on target. I think it was 2 or 1, 3 shots overall, I think.
Yeah, it's a bad day. I mean, it's a bad day at the office. I wouldn't say it's unacceptable. It's certainly a bad day at the office, though, and I will agree.
Maybe not unacceptable, maybe, but I know what Jason's saying. It's pretty poor.
I get where he's coming from because of the standard we've set.
I actually think we actually struggle. We do still win games, but we do struggle to get past teams that park the bus against us, especially in Scotland. We do struggle. We eventually get the goal, but it takes a lot of huffing and puffing. And listen, that's what these teams need to do. But I do think we're missing, if it's a Rogic or that sort of player, because I think we lack a lot of creativity in our midfield. The last few weeks we've not had a lot of. It's just been very slow and laboured. And again, I'm not want to be too critical, but I think I did say to other people, I don't know if I say to you, but see if we didn't win a cup last week, we'd have been criticising them because it wasn't great. So the cup kind of saved them for getting a bit of criticism because you won a cup. And you can't be critical of a cup final because you won a cup. But if that was a league game, technically we've lost. Technically we've drawn the last 2 games.
Did we win a cup last week?
No, I'm not even think that.
Honestly.
But
Not Miles dominated the headlines last week.
I do get some of the frustration, JB, because we've not been great since probably Leipzig. It's been very inconsistent, and when you're like that, listen, we're not going to win every game. You're going to drop the odd points a season. It happens.
Yeah.
But when it happens to us in Glasgow, you're still going to be critical because you don't like no winning games. But when I do think there's a wee bit of the team does a wee bit of a kick up the bum. I think Kyogo does a wee kick up the bum if it means he's got to sit on the bench and Boxing Day and Adrian deserves a shot. Then if that's where it's going to be, then I think he deserves a wee kick up the bum. Aaron Moy, Jason, I like Aaron Moy. Obviously now he's retired, and but I do believe we're missing a sort of midfield creative player. I don't think we've got one as it stands now. Engels is, I don't know if Engels is that player. Bernardo possibly if he plays more, but I just feel when teams camp against us, we struggle to break it down to a certain degree. I will eventually get the goal, but it's like it's peppering and it looks hard for us sometimes. But listen, it's not every game we're going to win 3-4-0. But I think the full collective was listen, a poor day at the office. We can sit here and I'll go through 1 or 2 players that I think no good enough or this and that, but we can't go through every single player because if you do that, you're going to find faults. He didn't pass that ball right. He didn't make that bad tackle, and that's just Looney Tunes. That's when you're just That's just crazy. You
I
can't
don't
go through
know.
every
I think
player.
I could pick more faults at the amount of times that you spent in your chair on Friday night rather than go to the bar. I think I could pick more faults for that rather than yesterday's game, to be fair. But no, you mentioned the word creativity, and we're just about to have some of that ourselves. We've got our first caller in for this evening. A man who does nothing but creativity for us. That is indeed our good man, Mr. Francis Lester. How are you, Francis? It's good to see you get your ears lowered for the occasion as well, mate.
It's always great to come on here and get slagged to death.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
By the way, he's actually he's done well. He's not saying so a few weeks now. He's done well.
Hey,
You just said it. Yellow card. Yellow card.
Minute, by the way, this needs to go to Willie. This needs to go to Willie in the VAR room. That was unacceptable, right? But Francis, it's good to see you, mate. I hope you're feeling a lot better than certainly the last time you were in the chat with us.
You know, I think I'm looking a wee bit thinner this week, man. I've lost about 2 stone.
That was just watching Celtic in the first half yesterday.
No, it was Gandhi's revenge.
You got a bad dose of Paroka.
Absolutely. Oh, it was shocking, man. Oh. I don't want to get into detail, it's too much. But put it this way, I'm feeling faster and fitter.
Brilliant, man. You give my Aider a run for his money, is that what you're saying?
No.
No. They're still looking for a tag team buddy to collect Pokemon cards up the West End if you're looking.
But when it came on last week, I nearly caught up with him when it getting to that Lewin time.
Tremendous, mate.
Oh dear.
How about you anyway? You looking forward to Christmas?
I am. I'm looking forward. I'm going up to my son's Christmas Day for Christmas lunch. So we're going up to spend it with my son and his family and the grandkids and that, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. The rest of the family are coming down as well. So it was good. It'll be good.
What's your thoughts on the game yesterday?
I don't want to swear.
No, don't. Please don't.
Put it this way. It was a load of that stuff I dropped in the loo last week.
Wasn't the toilet roll, was it? Hope it wasn't your wallet.
Oh, God. No, listen, see when you drop that many players, quality players for this team, I think the one thing it's shown us is we badly need quality backup. The quality's no there. When you're taking likes of CCV, Johnson, Kuhn, when you're dropping these players out the team, you're losing real quality, and we're not coming anywhere near replacing them with the people we're bringing in. They happen to them, they'll all give 100%, as I say, and they try hard and all that. I mean, we all say this, you know, but we really need better quality to keep the level up, you know. And I think that was the reason we dropped points. The quality wasn't there, you know.
I think one of the comments, I think it was, as we call him, Willie call him, he actually makes a good point. I think we were all worried when we saw the defence yesterday, Francis, and I think it was more the forward line that
no, the defence played well.
Rather than the defence.
But that was the other thing that annoyed me, because Dundee United didn't even want to come out the penalty box. At one point, Sky put a visual on it, and they had one man just over the halfway line.
Aye.
That was the setup. So they were sitting back, but we were still. That's my biggest criticism of Welsh. We were getting the ball, and he had yards and yards of space to move into, and he's squaring the ball across to Scales. It was Scales that was taking the ball forward. I'm saying, why can't you take the ball forward? We were going down trying to get down the same side. That was really bugging me, you know. And as I say, they were sitting in, and it was really, really narrow, as I kept repeating in the commentary as well. The wings were wide open, but we didn't go to the byline. And as far as Yang and Palmer, I mean, especially Palmer, I've no time for that boy anymore. I can't give him any more chances. The amount of times he got the ball, he either lost it, tried to take a player on, didn't beat him, or he turned back the right, or he cut inside onto his right. I'm going, go to the byline. The penalty box is packed, and he's trying to cut a box where there's 22 players near enough. You know what I mean? He was doing my head, and I'm just thinking, you just don't read the game at all. You don't see what's happening here. I'm not a football player. I can see it.
Ryan, I think Francis is spot on there with Palmer. I think he came on, he went by the guy a couple of times, and he kind of got us into a kind of like a lot. He kind of lured us on to false sense of security, because we all thought, here we go, he's got a wee spring in his step here, and then as Francis says, he just reverted back to type.
It was very, very slow and laboured again. Didn't get by his man. It was just slow. It's maybe a guy that's no played football, and again, people can say, I know what the manager says. He says after it that, or before the game, that yes, these players train at a high level, but I can only talk for Matt. I didn't play at that level, but I played at a decent level. You can train all you want, but see if you're not playing 90 minutes, it's so hard to come in and be at that level. You can train all you want. You can go on the bike, you can go runs, you can go and do weights, but if you're not playing football at that level intensity every week, it's very hard to then come in. So that's why Yang was looking good for 10 minutes here and there, because when we are on the ascendancy, it's very easy to come home, you're 3-0 up or 2-0 up and start your stuff. But when you're told to come in and play and try and win the game,
exactly.
For me, Yang and Palmer, I think that's finished. My opinion, I'm not the manager, but I don't. That was their, especially Yang. That was Yang's chance to come on for the start. You've had wee flashes recently, son. Go and show us what you've got, and I don't see what he's got. I know Jai Buer said a few. You know, he's got some other fans have says it, but I don't see for this level what he's got. And you've got James Forrest, who's been amazing for us, but he's getting to the veteran stage now. He's compared to himself, 33, 34, and he's still playing in front of a very young and up and coming Yang. For me, if I'm Yang, and the offence of James Forrest, by the way, it's no against him, but he's aging and he's getting injured and again. He's not as fit as he used to be. He knows quick, and he can't get a game in front of Forrest when he's meant to come in and prove a point. Same with Palmer. For me, I'd be like, well, I'm not going to play here at all then. And that's not against Forrest for anybody thinks it is. It's no. It's if I'm playing against, it's like me. I can't play him. I went a football team as a guy out wide who's 36 and he's playing in front of me. And I'm maybe 25, I'm fat, I'm flying, and he's playing in front of me. I'm going to go, how can I know in front of him? He's 36. That's for me. So I'm agreeing with Francis and telling yourself there with Palm and Yang. I think for me, I don't want to sit and do them in here because that's not what I'm all about. But I think it's time where we, if it's a loan dealer, I think it's time to feed him up.
Yeah, Francis, what do you think of the Celtic fans in general? Because today I've seen a lot of, some have been unsavoury in terms of the comments about the team, and we're always going to have games like this along the way because, like I said at the beginning of the show tonight, it's a very, very tall order to ask this team to go and continue to go at a high intensity level and get through every game just battering teams out the way.
The problem is, JP, right, as you know, I've been watching Celtic since the 60s. It's knee-jerk. These boys have been brought up in total success. They've not seen nothing other than Celtic win. I've seen Celtic when we won nothing. I've sat and watched Rangers win 9 in a row. I've sat for the years, watched us win nothing. I had a season ticket at Hampden. You know what I mean? I see some terrible games. You know what I mean? But these boys just don't know what it is to lose a couple of games. You know what I mean? They can't handle it. They've been brought up that in their mindset is such as we're not allowed to lose. We're not allowed to lose, and when we lose, they'll freak out. You know what I mean? We're all disappointed when we get beat.
Hey, calm down, Ryan.
We all get upset, right? We all get upset, and we're all annoyed at the time, and I get annoyed at the time. But you take a step back for it. At the end of the day, players are all human as well. And there was somebody asked a question today. I was on something today. I can't remember what it was. And you worried about our form in the last few games. I said I'd be more worried if we were playing the same team every week and we weren't performing. But no, we've been chopping and changing the team the last 4 or 5 weeks. We've not had a settled back four. We've been chopping and changing Kuhn and Forrest, and you know what I mean, and Kyogo and Ida's been coming in because of the games that have been piling up on us. So you're not going to get that continuity, as I said, unless you've got the same sort of quality coming in to replace the guys you're taking out. You know, so I think it's a bit knee-jerk. You know what I mean? I'm not worried. I think we'll bring a couple of people in January, and we'll be even stronger. And I think we'll just roll on into the title again. I've no question about it. Yeah,
I mean, I think a lot of Celtic fans, Ryan, today think there's, you know, they forget that there's already a trophy in the bag, and we've got a gap of 9 points still in the league. still ahead of our biggest rivals. So, like I say, as Francis kind of summed it up perfectly there. For me, I agree with Francis. I think it's knee-jerk, mate, if anything.
Aye, listen, I'm agreeing with Francis. I was a wee bit disappointed yesterday because of the way, I think we've been like that for a few weeks in terms of the first half's been good or the second half's been poor. It's been very inconsistent in that way. But again, it has been changed teams.
He's adjusted his camera tonight, Francis. I don't know if you've noticed, mate. It's to hide that big hole in the watch there, the other side of him.
But I do agree with Francis in terms that I do believe that there's certain players, I don't want to call them fringe players, but guys who are maybe not the first choices, squad players, if you want to call them. I think it's time, some of them either in January or the summer, it's time we start getting better quality. And I'm not saying go and sign somebody like Janovic to be beside Alistair Johnson, but just a wee tad, maybe less quality-wise, but still the fact that the team isn't going to be down in quality. That's the one. Ralston was okay yesterday. He wasn't terrible. He was fine. But
no, I thought he was all right.
And overall, Anthony Ralston, for me, if that's the second best choice we can get out of the world of football, then I'm going to start looking at the scouting system, JP, because you can't just put it this way. See if Anthony Ralston was again. Sorry, Anthony, you're watching, but it's just my opinion. See if Anthony Ralston was at Aberdeen or Hibs, would you sign him? No. It's only because he came through the youth system and he gives you all. But see all that, he gives you all. They all give you all. That's your first command as a footballer, to give you all for yourself, your teammates. He's all right. He's okay to come in and again. But if you want to keep progressing, longevity, I think with Young, Palmer, Ralston, Taylor as well, maybe for me, that he just wants to pass the ball backwards. That's why I'm shouting for Valle to play, because he just goes boom. Just wants the ball and goes forward with it, and going to go, son. For me, again, I don't know if it's just because it's the motion in there. I don't know if it's a change in the players' stance, like you said there, but I think just overall consensus, some of the, if you want to call squad players that are coming in, I know everybody's not going to be brilliant, they're not going to be the same as your first choice, but I think the drop-off in quality, I think it's a see, and I think it's something we need to look at in January and summer.
Francis, before we let you go, obviously need to ask you, my biggest concern yesterday was the intensity of Stephen Welsh. I don't think he plays with a great intensity in his play, and I also don't think he's got the right physicality to play centre-back.
I agree totally. That's what I said. He gets the ball and he squares it instead of going forward himself. He doesn't seem to have confidence in his own ability to go forward with the ball, you know, because there was a couple of times Ralston went up the wing and he cut back inside. And I'm going, why are you putting the ball back that way for? You've got 10 yards in front of you. United have already fell back into their own half, and he's playing square passes at the back. Yeah, there
was a couple of times he actually went back to Casper when we needed to play forward, and you're like, why are you going back to the goalkeeper?
And if you notice, the intensity of the whole team only increased when it came to the last 5-10 minutes of the game, when we thought, oh, we've still not scored here, we need to go up a gear. And then we started to create, and then it's too late.
Do you think, Francis, for me anyway, I actually said to JP and Alan during the game, I think we're starting to be decently the last few weeks because of their performance levels. We're too dependent on the subs changing the game. So Bernardo and Engels come on, and I thought Engels done well when they came on. But we shouldn't, I know the subs are there to do that, but every game we shouldn't rely on the subs to come on and inject. I know that's what the fan of that sounds daft, but they're there to do that, but we shouldn't be relying on the subs to do the guys who are starting. Should be doing that during the game, if that makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I mean about Palmer. I mean, how long have we been talking about him now? And he's not been playing for ages because Brendan doesn't rate him. As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't rate him. That's how he's not played him. And the only reason I think he even came on the park yesterday was because Forrest was injured. If Forrest was fit yesterday, we wouldn't have saw Palmer.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We wouldn't have saw Palmer. So,
what are you looking for moving forward, Francis? Obviously, we've got a lot of games. There's no winter break. Do you think there'll be more days like yesterday coming up as well? There'll be times in the season where that will happen.
Probably. There might be, you know, but it all depends. I think this time of the year, I know everybody's mind starts shifting towards Christmas and all that with their families and stuff like that. This happens every year, that you get a wee kind of shaking of the tree, you know what I mean? It seems to happen. If you go back to last season, it was around about Christmas we started to drop our performances a wee bit and all.
Yeah.
Again, they're human beings. They've got to think about Christmas and having things with their family, and that, and it's no 100% concentrating on probably what they should be concentrating on, which is a game that pays their wages. But they're only. I think once January comes, as I say, with another couple of new additions and get rid of some of these players that are just no cutting it as backup, we'll be fine, and we'll power on to the title again.
Yeah, mate. It's good to get you back on again, mate.
Treble as
Cheers,
well.
Cheers, mate. Oh, that would be nice. It would be nice, definitely. But we need to move on, Francis. We need to get you.
No bother, lads. Great to talk to you again.
Mate, you'll sit for Christmas. Have a good Christmas. We don't speak to you, mate, okay? All the best, pal. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you to Francis for his thoughts. We are indeed moving on with time. Give your thoughts, folks, what Francis says. If you agree, you disagree, you've got something else in mind, let us know in the comments. It is indeed time for our next caller. And I don't know how to introduce him now. It is indeed my dad. He's decided to call in tonight, so here we are. Good evening.
Evening, lads.
Evening, John. How you doing?
How are you?
Yourselves?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
How we go?
Aye, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Good stuff.
I'm always fine, regardless of the result.
You're like me, Ryan.
Get a lot of people. I mean, a lot of the Francis was right. A lot of these young. I mean, I've been watching Celtic for the 60s as well, and you know, I've came through a lot of bad stuff with Celtic, and through the never run away for Celtic. Never. I've always said that to JP, even when he was a young boy. You support the team forever and ever, and that's it. And that's it. You know what I mean? Yesterday, bad day at the office yesterday. Bad day at the office yesterday. That's how I see it. Had a few chances. I mean, we did have Kyogo should have burst the net with the one he had. Yang was through on goal, decided to square it across the box. For what reason, I don't know. I couldn't fathom that one out at all. And but big angles with the old toe poke, just unlucky. The goalkeeper got his toe to it. But apart from that, I thought Celtic play. I mean, okay, a few new players come in. Well, into the team, there was players took out, couldn't, no well, are injured. Big CCV had a virus. Him and Trusty. You know, these things happen, I suppose, at this time of the year. And when you take quality like that out of the team, it kind of in the end. Do you know what I mean? And it just, I mean, listen, they went through a rigorous game the week before at Hampden against that mob across the water, and they came through that. So they had a tough weekend there, and it was just one of the days. And the weather didn't help either. Do you know what I mean? And it was just one of the days for me. We didn't get beat, so
yeah,
you know, it's a point, and we move on.
Ryan, I think that's the most important part there, as John alluded to. Celtic didn't. It's one of those ones, mate. I've always said if you can't win the game, then certainly don't go on and lose the game, especially late on. Now when Dundee United get a couple of late corners, and years gone by, man, how many times have we saw Celtic conceding last-minute goals, and you're like, oh no. But you've got the security of Casper coming out, winning balls and tackling people and making sure he's a menace to the other forwards and stuff. So I think that's the most important part, mate. The fact that we also then, at that point of the game, when, you know, we couldn't get the goal and Engels had tried the toe poke and everything else has not went for us, it was important then not to lose the game in the dying seconds, mate.
I don't even think we were in any danger of losing it.
No, neither did I. But now when it gets to that later stage and they get the last couple of corners and you're like, oh, here we go.
I think it was all down to us just not being really creative and clinical. I think that's it. It's just, listen, it was a poor day at the office. Listen, we could hammer players, we could say he's not good enough and this and that, and we could go through every single player, but what's the point in doing that? Because it's not going to get you anywhere. Just,
Gigi didn't watch the Christmas episode because we would, Santa.
Listen, but I would expect a bit of a reaction in Boxing Day. If
Yes.
we don't get a better performance in Boxing Day, then you'll be like, right, what's going on here? Because
Stephen Welsh, your captain.
Aye. I'm going to agree with Francis. I think your dad said there. It's next 2 games at home.
Yeah.
Win the games and then you're going to Ibrox, and then that's when I think you'll maybe see the quality turn up. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully anyway. Hopefully. So I think the next 2 games, Christmas time as well, Francis says they are professionals. That is their job, but they've also got families and they'll be obviously travelling as well. Obviously, Baz as well. He's a Sheffield Wednesday. He's travelling on Christmas Day for the game. So they've no. So it's a lot of. It's not just about one game. They've got their life as well to go with. So it might slip away a wee bit in terms of their concentration. But listen, it's. I think you'll go to Celtic Park in the next 2 games and then you'll win. But I think it's just one of the games. Look, we can go through the full team, but. We all know we need better quality off the bench. We all know maybe some players need to be put up the bum. We know we need to up performance levels, but we've only been in the league all season. So I think we can be critical, but at the same time, right
We've only lost 2 games in the calendar year as well, you know.
It's been last few weeks, performance-wise, been great. Okay, we've drew. But realistically, if anybody was told at the start of the season, you'd be 1 game away from qualifying for the playoff in Europe, you'd be unbeaten in the league, you've won the derby games and you've won a cup final, I think you'd be like, that's brilliant. So
you'd probably be you'd be more than chuffed, Ryan, of course.
I think that we've got to be critical, but at the same time, take a step back, look where we are, and then next few games, see how we go. Then if we don't play very well with that boy points, then be critical, see how it is. But as it stands now, mate, I'm not really too fussed at all. Listen, as Francis says, you'll get a few guys in January. You'll get Kuhn back fit. You'll get Trusty and CCV back for injury. For illness. Alistair Johnson hopefully back. So I think we'll see a better performance in the next 2 or 3 games, mate.
John, there's a wee comment here for David Anderson. He's commented in for YouTube. He said, we are and will have mediocre performances. It's football, but a point win is better than 3 points lost. So bad performance and a point is better than a bad performance and a defeat.
I agree with him. I think
that's a good point. But I do think there's, as Francis would say as well, like you says, you've been watching Celtic since the 60s, and because of you, I feel as if I've known. I said that to Ryan as well, to be fair, Francis. But obviously, I feel as if I've known, like, the Lisbon Lions. You've told me that much about them, and fortunately, I was lucky enough to meet 1 or 2 of them in person, as they were older gentlemen. But way before my time, Lisbon Lions as well. Well, that's what I'm saying. So there you go. I felt like I was drinking them all. Alan brought everybody. I felt like I was drinking them on Friday. Alan brought everyone his Celtic strips with him, man. He was dishing them out to people in the pub and all that, man.
I'll tell you,
what's going on?
The Lisbon Lions were the biggest gentlemen you could ever meet. I swear to God, they were all just Celtic daft, and they were just pure gentlemen. Francis will probably tell you the same.
Yeah,
pure gentlemen, every one of them.
Yeah, 100%. And even they, I mean, for me, when you know your history, right, and you do your search about Celtic and you learn, even they didn't go all season. Me, they were the best Celtic side ever. They pioneered what Celtic represent now and what Celtic stand for now. They were the pioneers of where we are as a club. So for me, they won the. I know we went through the season with Brendan Invincible, Ryan, but you know, they lost games as well, you know, and obviously
that's from the Lions never done,
and that would have been disappointment. I think Cal Mack needs a break. Yeah, I agree with David as well. What about that point there, John, in terms of Callum McGregor? Do you think obviously Callum might benefit from a spell out of the team?
Okay, I think so. I think that we've got a ready replacement and what do you call him?
Luke McKeown.
I'm losing him. I'm telling you, man. I'm going sea lion. I swear to God, man. Yeah, I couldn't get his name out. I couldn't get his name out there.
Luke McKeown.
Luke McKeown, aye. I think he's a cracking wee player. I think if you take maybe like say this period that we've got so many games coming up, maybe. But you know Callum McGregor. I mean, he plays 400, 500 games a season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and he just wants to play. He's a captain, and if he's not injured, he's on that park. You know what I mean? But you know, give him a rest for a couple of games and see how it goes for there. And
Right, what do you think in terms of Cal Mack? Do you think Cal Mack's one of the boys if Rodgers was to take him out of the team and fall out of him?
Probably.
Possibly. I'm one of McGregor's biggest fan, like I've said in the past. Don't know, but maybe I don't know. Maybe he can still do it, but I think I said it last year and the year before. He could easily play down south for the major teams. Maybe not every week, but he can play on the bench and come in and contribute, and he could easily play for your West Ham's not no bother. So I'm one of McGregor's biggest fans, but I do think he's been off it for a wee bit, personally. And maybe it's one of games, and maybe it is just time for him to maybe get a wee shot on the bench, get a rest. No, because he's, I don't want to say draft, because you don't draft players, it's rotation and a break, but because he's the captain, JP, I really don't think he'll get. I think he'll play every game as long as he's feeling fit and he's not injured. I don't think he'll get rested unless he's really feeling it, or sports science these days tell you that he's got to get a break. I think that's the only reason he'll get a break. I think he deserves a wee game, maybe at home. Maybe get Motherwell at home again, who I think are sitting in the 4th or 5th now. They're doing well, so I'm not going to take them lightly. But
Dundee United are 5th.
They're doing all right. In Motherwell, there's a top 6, you know, 6th, 7th.
I'll tell you now. Hold on.
I'm sure I've seen them 6.
Feel like I'm Andy Gray here. Hold on. Yeah, mate, you're right. You're bang on. They're 4th.
No, I knew I've seen them in the top 6. So they're doing all right, Motherwell. So you can't go to Celtic Park and just draft all the players for not playing well, and you've still got to keep that consistency of the team. So, but no, I think McGregor's maybe a wee game or two at Celtic Park. Aye, but I think he'll do it. Probably no. We can say about Hatate as well. Hatate's not been good for weeks, and I know we keep saying when he's good, but you can't say that every week when he's playing bad, because Kyogo, when he's good, but for the last few weeks he's not been good. So, but we can't drop every player. We can't be critical of the player and expect them all to drop, because that can't happen.
Look who comes in when you do.
That's what I mean. It can't happen. So, but no, I agree with David there. I think
some of these guys are causing respiratory problems while he's down to Glasgow now. Come on.
There's a few players I think it do need a wee bit of a rest. But listen, that's why the man just paid the big money. He'll decide who plays and who'll get a break and who'll know. So we'll see, obviously, Boxing Day then. I think it's the 29th or 28th, and then it's the game at Ibrox. So we'll see the next few games. But I do think there'll maybe be the odd change in the next few games, and then I think it'll be your strongest team up in the second.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, John, G-Doc says Maeda needs a rest. Would you agree with that?
Fair. Again, no one who was poor yesterday. He was terrible yesterday.
G-Doc, I would have feared he just gets switched off at night time and switched back on in the morning and then goes again. That's just the way that guy is.
I think they just plug him in.
John, he's so frustrating, John, because 1 minute what he done last week, and then he's running the ball at the park. How many times you want the ball at the park, but then he's pinging a ball? I'm like, how can you do that? 1 minute he's 10 out of 10, then next minute he's kicking the ball out.
He frustrates the life out of you sometimes, you know what I mean? But but he was unlucky with it. Luke Tida. He
was unlucky.
The goalkeeper got a fingertip to it, but he was unlucky. But apart from it, he knew himself. He was off par because he was kicking billboards and stuff. You know what I mean? So he knew himself.
See the microphone with the kind of foam microphone at the back of the goal. He actually kicked that because you heard the noise. You get dead annoyed with that.
He was annoyed with himself. But
I don't think he needs a rest. To be honest with you, G-Doc, I'm not sure the wee man needs a rest. I mean, he
No.
bagged the energy in the cup final. He certainly step up and take that winning penalty. I've seen a couple of fans say as well that he kind of looks fed up. I'd look fed up as well if I was winning everything.
Well, I think they just unplug him in the tunnel.
It's one of the
and just let
hardest
him go.
things. I think this is the thing I know a lot of Celtic fans are forgetting. It's one of the hardest things to do is win. It's got to be the hardest thing to keep doing.
I think
To
in
just
football and all,
reset
but
yourself
to
and
keep
go
the
back.
momentum going. You know what
Ryan,
I mean?
many times have I said to you as well at the summer, you know, you've won a treble, you go again. You won another treble, you go again, you win another. Mate, how hard must that be, John, just to reprogram yourself to then go through all that again?
Well, I mean, you know, you're doing it over a season again as well, you know, so you've got 38 games in the season, plus cup games, plus European games and stuff like that. And you've got to keep that momentum. All right, they get paid big money to do it, but in there...
They're only human.
That's what I'm saying. They're only human, like us, obviously, and yeah, they keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they all right. They might have the off day like Sunday, but you know, their games will come about. You know, the off day games, blah blah blah. Don't forget the big cup final and you know 90 plus minutes and then extra time and then penalties. I mean, that takes a lot out of you mentally as well. Do you know what I mean? And then try to get yourself up for a game at Tannadice after a big game at Hampden. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go like yourself, you know. But they'll keep going. Brendan will have them up for it, and they'll keep going. Boxing Day, you might maybe see a different Celtic in Boxing Day. Hopefully, get 3 points. I mean, score a few goals into the bargain.
Will you be there, John, in Boxing Day yourself?
Yes, I'll be there.
Good stuff.
I'll be there with my son.
Good stuff. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. As always. No, I'm only kidding. Aye, we definitely will be there. Don't you worry about that, folks. But cheers for coming on and having a chat with us tonight, John.
Thanks
again.
for having us on, lads.
You're welcome.
Cheers, John.
And have a nice Christmas, Brian.
You too. Take care, mate.
Catch
See
you
you
later.
later.
Bye-bye.
I'm not even going to say that to you because I know I'm going to see you, so it doesn't make any difference.
That's how I never said it to you.
I know you will have a nice Christmas, so it's all right.
Right, okay.
But, cheers for your time.
John.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's always good to get the thoughts of my dad. That's a guy that keeps me level-headed, right? And that's why, as he said at the beginning of his call tonight, that you know, I've went through. I watched Rangers winning 9 in a row, mate. You know, so I know what it's like for us not to be successful. James Kennedy made a wee point there about never tire of winning. No, you don't. 100% you don't. That was a joke from my part, James. I don't know if you picked up on that one or not. However, it's the hardest thing to do in football. So, see for me, folks, right? I'm just going to say this. I don't care what way this is taken. I do not think Celtic have been given the appropriate thanks for what they have given us as fans. I don't think it gets talked about enough. We won a quadruple treble in the last 10 years. That's mental. That is absolutely mental. Now, regardless of what way you do that, people are going to throw in things, but you know, they weren't that good and that. You can only beat what's in front of you. One of these seasons was an invincible treble. We then backed that up by winning another treble. I know at the end, the next one, it wasn't the same manager that started the season, but obviously then Brendan left, went to Leicester. Neil Lennon came in and completed that treble, but then Neil Lennon won his own treble. And then we missed out a year of not winning anything. And or not winning the league, should I say. And we won. And then we came back under Big Ange and we won the double. It was supposed to be Eddie Howe. But after the whole COVID thing and everything else. And then as Ange's first season, fans were getting back into Celtic Park. You know, the percentage was low, and then eventually we got there and we got the full capacity again. And then the following season we won another treble. This is mental. Honestly, see if you went anywhere else in the world, Brian, and you told somebody what Celtic have achieved over the last so many seasons, mate, they'd probably laugh at you. So see, for me, we do not, as a Celtic fans, in my opinion, I've never shut up about it because I'll never will, because I've witnessed it. I keep telling my boy. It's something, mate, that should never be forgotten. People go, that was in the past. No, that happened. You can't overstep that and go, well, do you know what? That was just a figment of my imagination. That was part of us. That now stays in the history of our club. We've now also became the most successful club in this country. When it was being shouted for the rooftops for many a years, mate, with that side across the water, we've now blown that out the water last Sunday. So I think certain times of the season, you need to take a step back, mate, and actually look at, you know, what do we want here? You know, we want the team to keep playing well, or ultimately do we want the team to just keep winning and winning things for us? In my opinion, as a fan base, I don't think we've given them as much thanks as they deserve.
See, I don't think they deserve thanks because that's their job. In the day, their job's to win games and be successful.
No, they deserve thanks.
I get what you're saying, though.
For his Ryan.
I get what you're saying, though. They deserve a lot of praise and deserve a lot of pat the backs and amazing and accolades for everything. They deserve everything. But I want to say thanks, but I'll be saying they deserve a lot of praise because it is their job to win football games. That's what they're paid to do. They're paid to win trophies, and they're paid to play well and score goals and defend. That is what they're paid to do.
But every team is paid to do that. Ultimately, Hibs went a season trying to win trophies and stuff. So
you don't get tired of winning. Listen,
no,
I was lucky enough. I played myself. I won trophies. I won leagues.
There's a great point. There you go. There's a great point, Brian.
I know, 100%.
Brilliant.
I'm lucky myself. When I played, I won leagues and I won trophies. Listen, some guys don't win anything. Some professional players, they might have brilliant hoosies, a nice girlfriend, and nice kids, and but don't win trophies. But it's a good bank balance, but to me, winning trophies was the ultimate thing for me. It was winning and playing football. Listen, if I get paid, fantastic. Because let's be fair, JPC, when I grew up, I couldn't care if I was £1 or free to play with Celtic. It was all about playing football. And obviously for me, that's gone now. You see young kids now, it's just they want the wash bag, they want the motors, they want the limelight. They don't want to play football now for the reasons that we all played football for. It was just to play with Celtic and play football and have that job as a hobby.
There's a wee comment there for Plunge. He said they've had our money. That stinks enough. Well, I totally disagree with that, Plunge, because you're paying for the privilege, mate, to go and see your team. That's your individual choice. That's you no thanking Celtic for anything. As a paying customer, you have got the utmost privilege every week or every second week to go and watch Celtic at Celtic Park. There's loads of people in this world, mate, that don't have that privilege. There's folk all over the world that are Celtic fans that can't come and see Celtic. So us as fans in Glasgow that stay here and are able to go, we're in a privileged position and we're in a great position to go and see Celtic. But when you pay money, that's an option, that's a choice. That's not a thanks to Celtic. A thanks to Celtic is being a supporter. But paying money to the club, for me, that's not thanks, in my opinion.
I do get but I don't know if he's maybe meant it right way, but I get what Plunge is saying though, that you're paying your money, so you're expecting success as well. You're expecting the club to be successful. If you're a fan, you expect your club to win things. That's just the nature of the beast. You want your club to win things. You're not paying your season book. You're paying your season book to be a fan. But see if Celtic want to winning trophies or they want to keep competing for a lot of trophies, some people will still go, but a lot wouldn't. Because it's very hard paying top dollar. Just for talking shit. Like Andrew now at Spurs, right? you'll get the loyal Spurs supporters, right, who will continue to turn up. But if they're watching dross football, they're not winning trophies, they're paying maybe £1,000, £1,200 a year. That could be going to something else for them. So sometimes there's a balance as well. So you've got to balance it out. Are you going to go and
No,
support?
100%, mate.
Do you
But
know what
if
I mean?
you're handing over money for anything, Ryan, that's your choice. That is an individual
I get
choice
that.
you make, mate.
I get
If you
that.
don't want to do that, if you don't want to do that, then don't do it.
No, I
If
get
you're
that,
handing
man.
over money at any point in your life, you give money to anything. That's your individual choice. Nobody's making you or forcing you to do
It's
that.
just me. I don't.
We've got a good friend of this podcast, Ryan, John Baird, who is a massive Celtic fan, mate. He can't come and watch Celtic every week every weekend, mate.
No,
Him and his wee
I
boy
get-
can't go to the games
No, I
unless
get-
Celtic
I
now
get-
tour
I get-
Australia.
I
So
do get what you're saying. I get
we're
what
in
you're
a
saying,
privileged
mate.
position. That's what I'm saying.
But in terms of,
A wee
listen,
comment there for Toby for the East End Community Radio. He says, we've been spoiled over the last 20 years. Sometimes fans want more than which is possible. Positives are, we're still top of the league, 9 points clear. He also thought Palmer got it tight. But then he alludes to that in a second comment. He says he thought it was harsh. Guys not had much game time. People shouting, he's shite. He needs to go. Madness at Tannadice Sunday, obviously. I'm assuming, Toby, you were in attendance at the match, mate. You can let us know in the comments. And
I can only go on for not just Sunday. I've always said that. For me, I used to say last season that Palmer's numbers were deceiving. I don't rate him as a player. I don't rate him as a Celtic player. I'll still support the guy if he plays at the week. If he plays in Boxing Day and he scores, I'll still celebrate because I'm a Celtic fan. I'll still celebrate that people scoring and doing well, and I want the guys to start and play well. But it's the same with Yang. The games last year when he was offside and looking along the listen, I was offside. Listen, I'm not right. I was born offside, right? But I'm not getting paid thousands of pounds in training every day. You should be more intelligent if when you're that level than you're playing amateur football or junior football. That's for me, that's unacceptable. You can be offside, but not when you're looking along the line 3 and 4 times in the positional sense. That's down to you as a player, and you're having your knowledge and intelligence to go when to go and when not to go. So, listen, I get sometimes, Toby, it can be. Listen, I've been overcritical of players in the past, but I will always say if they do something well, I will praise them. I will go, listen, look Liam Scales criticised him a lot last year. Still criticise him the odd time this year, but listen, he's done okay this year.
that's because he's not done it this season, your house.
He's actually been okay this season when he's come in. I had a few odd mistakes, but listen, he was actually all right the weekend as well. That's to be fair. Welsh was actually all right. He wasn't terrible. He was actually all right. Longer term, Welsh is probably not going to play Celtic a lot, but the defence wasn't an issue at the weekend. If I want to just talk about that game at the weekend, for me, it was Jan wasn't good enough. I've actually got a wee start now. I actually thought McKibben done okay, right? And then I don't know if it's this one here. That's here. That's Serge IP. Obviously, look, McKibben, he starts on the really ideal, right? He lost possession 23 times. He won 2 out of 10 duels. Only 1 key pass. That's no. It just shows you sometimes for your eye. I thought he done okay, and the stats tell you that for a Celtic player, that's not good enough to lose possession 23 times. That's probably why he's not playing every week as well. But that's stuff that we don't get the privilege of. And there's one obviously with Yang as well. This is just what the ones I've seen. He only completed 1 dribble for a winger. That's not good enough for me. A winger at Celtic, and only won 2 of his 5 duels, which isn't great, but it's not the worst either. But that's just 2 stats I've seen. It's not just on the players. I'm just pinpointing that these stats. There could be other players for stats. Maeda's probably kicking the ball at the park, and Welsh still passing the ball forward. We could go on for days, but I'll let you back in that, mate. But I think Palmer's got it tight because it's maybe it was a chance for him to. I get the fact that he wasn't playing, Toby. I get that, but it's a chance for him to come on and show that if he's still got something, he can go and change the game. And I didn't see anything from him. Like there was no go and do something. I just thought there was no enthusiasm for him at all. It's all right saying he loves the club and he's in celebrating, but I want him doing it on the park. I don't want him doing it in photos. Do you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I've just seen a wee comment there for Kaiser. Well, saying it's Christmas, man. He's out with a list already. He says, Yang, Palmer, Home, Welsh, Hatate, Rocky and Taylor, all out in January. Bring in KT and Jota and a top-class striker. Just go into the Europa League and buy the best striker. Probably one of the first times I'm going to have to disagree with you, mate. I don't think you're going to get the best striker in the Europa League and he's going to be top-class. Whoever it may be. I don't even know who's top of the goal-scoring charts in the Europa League. I've not really been paying that much attention, if I'm honest, due to us being in the Champions League, but I don't think that guarantees you, anything at all. Plus the fact as well, you've got Ida and Kyogo still in the squad. So to bring a top-class striker in beside those guys, it's going to be very difficult, in my opinion, to keep all three happy. There's a lot of games, but you're still going to have one or two kind of fighting that first one, and then the next one, the lad Johnny Kenny resumes training with us in the next couple of weeks, or should I say next week even. I think it's the 3rd or 4th of January, isn't it? Yeah. And also, he's mentioned about Lennon Miller, another name that's he's been getting passed about. Yeah, as I say, I don't think personally going into we could probably do another podcast on this as well, going into Europa League and bringing in the best striker in the Europa League somehow is going to, guarantee anything for us at all. Might be doing well to just out Hatate. I know he's been off some of the games, but there's always that element of quality with Rio Hatate in the Aberdeen game. Just a short time ago when he actually scores a winning goal. Toby, but mine Christie was in the same boat. Wasn't good enough, etc. But when Brown got injured, he stepped in and got a run of games, and it meant he settled right into place, held his position. Yeah, like I said, we could probably do another podcast on this about players, and like I said to you before, Brian, I think see if you go through everybody in the team and started picking out their imperfections, we would be here for an absolute eternity.
He's actually been one of Bournemouth's best players this season, man, Chris.
No, I'm not saying he's not. Like John says there, he's obviously getting a lot of plaudits now. Perhaps he's playing in a different position than when he comes in for Scotland, or,
he's playing a better league as well, so he's going to improve as well. Yeah.
100%, mate. I mean, again, you up your level when you're playing in what they call the best league in the world, Brian. So again, you've got to be quicker in the mind, you've got to be sharper, fitness level, you've got to have an intensity. There's a level of physicality to play down there as well. You're playing against top pros, mate, and bearing in mind, mate, he's not actually even with one of the top teams in the league, or what's classed as one of the top teams in that league. So it's only inevitable, mate. You've got to become better. And obviously, a good man that was close to him, who used to be his agent, works for us just now on the podcast, William Glavin. I feel as if I actually know Ryan personally, with the amount of stuff he's told us about Ryan. Yeah, so as I say, I'm not surprised at how well he's doing. But again, yeah, Francis, so would I, before we have any look at going and spending any amount of money on. I mean, that lad has not just scored goals in his domestic league where he was. He's done it in the Europa Conference. It's another European level. People look at that and go, well, do you know what? It's 2 steps down for the Champions League. I'll tell you what, by the way, it's so many teams in the Europa Conference would be giving teams in the Champions League a game in this actual format, right? Teams like Bodo Glimt and stuff like that. So thanks for folk that seems to be commenting on my complexion here. I don't even use the sunbeds, guys. I think it might just be the actual lighting in my kitchen.
What's his name? We've not seen Dan in a while. We called you a gammon steak, didn't he?
He called me a gammon steak. But to be fair, Danny was probably bang on, because I was no long back on holiday as well at that time, and so to be fair, I'll give Danny that one. But no, like I says, I don't even use sunbeds, guys. Honestly, I've just got probably really good lighting. But I've when I go on holiday, I somehow managed to keep a bit of a tan, if that makes sense, folks. So it never seems to kind of totally fade away from me. Albeit it might not be brown or it might not look that exotic. It might just look red or whatever it is. But I do think it's a lighting in my kitchen, folks. I really do.
With Johnny Kenny, like, I don't think any of us as a fan base can really say anything about the boy because we don't watch Shamrock Rovers every day. We don't watch him every week. We've only seen probably
I must look like Lindsay's man.
Aye. We've probably only seen Johnny Kenny in the highlights, unless you've watched Shamrock Rovers and you've kept an eye on him, which is brilliant if you have. I've only seen them in small snips.
I've only seen the footage of him, Ryan, and some of the goals
he's
scoring. And
none of us Celtic fans can say that he's good enough or he's not, because he's not had a chance to really show us at Celtic Park.
Yeah.
If you say about Young and Palmer and Welsh and Ralston and maybe Rocky to a certain degree, Home again to a certain, some of these guys, but with Johnny Kenny coming back, see when you're out on loan, you're sitting out on loan to go to the club and get experience, but see if you're doing well, you deserve a shot to get looked at in training. So in my opinion, again, Brendan's far more elite than me. He knows the game, but it'd be a disservice to Johnny Kenny that if he's not getting looked at to prove his chance at Celtic. Listen, the boy could be miles off it. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not going to say that, but it deserves a shot.
Is there anything to take from it? That the mere fact that he's getting called back early as well. Is there anything? Obviously, Brendan wants to have a closer look at him. So is there any confidence to be taken from that at all?
Well, it'd be good for him knowing that he's coming back, because obviously he's coming back for a good.
He's a massive Celtic fan as well, isn't he? So that's obviously a big 18
or 20 goals he's got roughly or something.
Yeah, I think he's near that mark, Ryan. Yeah.
So he's a goal scorer. It doesn't matter what level you play. If you score goals, you score goals. Well, I know we can do it at Celtic.
I think his last European game there, he scored a double, didn't he? He got a brace, yeah.
Listen, he will need to step up because obviously Shamrock Rovers to Celtic as a step up in quality, but it's not to him to. Scale did do it.
Listen, I know we knew. I know. Listen, I know we have a wee kind of private joke, but Liam Scales came to Shamrock Rovers, so that's what I'm saying.
Listen, see if he can score goals, then he's got a good chance. If he's in the right place, his movement's right, and he gets service. Listen, who knows? Obviously, he'll be behind Didan Kyogo, but we are looking for a first striker as it stands now, so I think that could be a first striker if he does well in training with Brendan. So deserves an opportunity, like Toby says. You can't go on loan and score the goals he's scoring, no matter whatever you've done, and no get a chance to train to get looked at. Because if he's not going to get a chance or get looked at, what's the point in the loan system? There's no point in sending somebody on loan to then bring him back and just go, cheerio. Similar to Burnaby, by the way. Listen, I know Burnaby's probably going to get sold, but he's flying. Maybe he just suits foreign football, right? But he's flying, right? See if his deal ends up in January. See if he can back. In my opinion, he deserves a chance to get looked at. Listen, he wasn't great for us. Let's be fair. He was very, very poor. But he's went away. He's been brilliant. Surely deserves to get a look in. I don't think he will.
Like that one for GG. His skills couldn't get a down like yours, JP.
But
to be fair, he's a bit more fair-headed than I'm on, mate, to be fair.
I do think Burnley will be away, right? I think maybe he suits that type of football and that is for him. But the fact that he's doing very well and getting spoken about for £8 million and this and that, surely he's worth a look in, no? But is that not what the loan system is for? I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Obviously, Rodgers doesn't fancy him, but if he's away and done well...
well, the thing is, right, he's obviously doing well where he is. I just think, Ryan, certain players, I'm not classing this as Johnny Kenny by any means at all, but in terms of the foreign market, or international market, should I say, to be more respectful, certain players are able to adapt quicker to certain environments. And unfortunately for Alessandro Bernabei, he wasn't able to adapt to this environment. Now, I don't know if it was the size of the club, because let's face it, mate, look at all his clubs he's played.
Every Sunday.
Oh, that one I know. He was the Wonder Bar's best customer along with Big Voldemort across the city. Aye. We'll talk about that one another day, but that was funny as well. But
Francis, you said that, didn't he? You pressed it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, Francis. Yeah. By the way, first class, I know. The flight, I mean, not the meeting. First class, none of you sitting with the ordinary people on that one. Because see, let's face it. If Brendan was sitting with the ordinary people, but Ryan, there would have been people on that flight with hundreds of photos of him, and so there was no way. I reckon Dermot Desmond's sent the Daffabit truck out to get him. He's went in the Daffabit lorry out to that runway, and he's flew away in that
private journey.
Big bingo lorry, and the big the bonkers plane.
The bonkers plane, just rebel tunes on the way to Dublin.
He's got a web. By the way, he flew rebel tunes on the way to Dublin. And by the way, he was up there for half an hour, and all the time he was watching the boys at the Ali Pally.
And
you believe it?
And you never guessed what he got for his dinner: chips and beans and sausage.
By the way, that's his favourite dinner. That's his favourite dinner.
That's box office, by the way.
Quality.
He's a psychopath, isn't he? That's box office, man.
It's the only meal you'd have the rest of your life: sausage, beans, and chips, man.
But I like chicken Milanese, but I like sausage, beans, and chips. Man.
Non-comparison there, Brendan.
Oh, brilliant, man.
Non-comparison. Ian Cassidy, how you doing, fella? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hope you're well.
Merry Christmas to you and your family, pal.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
And well done for joining the family. Be good if everybody, told us they recently subbed or whatever, because it is totally free. I mean, we don't know, that's what I'm saying. We've got to put up with the same people in the comments all the time, slagging off my tan under my red light, apparently, in my kitchen. Can't believe guys are asking us a red light. Jesus, Johnny. Lindsay's just said it's my dad. This must be a right family show then, because we've got dads in here, gone galore.
That's all right. We'll get talk about red faces. We'll get the red district at 10:30 tonight. That's all right.
Well, obviously we're used to redness. We're actually going to change. We're actually going to change the theme song to our episodes and have Christy Burr singing "Lady in Red."
Yeah, we can't. We'll go for copyright, man.
No, but we'll not put it out to monetize. We'll just leave it as it is. Do you know what I mean?
But don't worry, folks. The 10:30 show's got a Secret Santa tonight. It's a Christmas special tonight at 10:30.
Oh, it's a Christmas special tonight on 10:30. We've got Danny Roll up front as well, man. He's first up, by the way. And
Danny Roll's got
his Southampton tap on.
He's knee-high boots.
And we've got Barry, Josh Windass, what's the boy's name? The boy Palmer, and the boy Shea Charles. They're dressed up. The boys for 17. They're singing "Stay Another Day." Hoping the manager doesn't leave. Hope the manager doesn't leave. And we get Big Alan. Big Alan's actually no with us tonight, folks, because he's doing double. He's got a double shift tonight. He's on. He's here in Knightswood tonight, but shouting about play the Scotto. So he'll be walking. He started off at Great Western Road, by the way, and he's on his way to Knightswood.
GG, white bits will be more than that, but the white bits will be on show, of course, as usual.
Aye. He's got to be tuning in at 11:15, by the way. He starts off with Santa Baby, apparently, and just it's all going to snowball for the
Jingle bells, isn't it? Jingle bells all the way.
Aye. Well, you've changed the lyrics to that, Roy. Is it Jingle Balls or something? Or Jingle? What is it?
It's a family show, and we can't mention that.
No, I know. And it's alcohol free. By the way, alcohol free Prosecco as well, I've heard. So don't worry about that.
I'm definitely after booze for the weekend. 100%.
But we're definitely going to get this time next year, we'll definitely, Big Al, we're going to get cameras to follow him, maybe a GoPro or something like that, when he's shouting that play the Scotto stuff, man, because I'd definitely want to see that. Surprised he's never hoarse. Honestly, I'm surprised he never got a sore throat. Hi, Big Alan's driving home for Christmas. Hi, Big Alan. By the way, he's the same as Chris Rea, man. Somebody needs to get the guy a sat nav, man. He's been driving home for years. How we doing, mate? Your
Merry
grandson's
Christmas,
not
Lenny.
here. He's up Knightswood tonight shouting Play Scotto. So, really sorry, mate. He's sorry to disappoint you. He'll help yourself, though. Hope you're well. Guys, it's 10 to 10. It's going on to 10 to 10 now. So, I just hope Big Al's. I tell him at 10 o'clock he needs to hang it because he'll need to put the traffic cone down after 10 o'clock, mate. Know what I mean? He'll not be able to.
No, he'll need to start giving hoosies for his malt and cookies, won't he, man?
He'll be getting chased with that Knightswood young team, so he will, won't he?
he'll be on that Scuduba.
Geezy high-tech air bubbles, high-top trennies you've got on there.
Electrolytes, innit?
Aye, Big Alan's jumping about Knightswood shouting Play Scotto dressed up like Jedward. He's not that, no, he's shouting Play Scotto with an Irish accent to make sure he blends in. Oh, brilliant, man. Toby, good man. Hail, boys. Merry Christmas.
Hail.
Merry Christmas to yourself, mate. I hope you
You too.
hope you have a good one. JP Monday after the derby for the next slot on the station. I don't know if Big Scotto will make it, by the way. I don't know what's happening with him. We'll need to find out. Hopefully his air bubbles don't burst and he'll be all right. Because he'll be feeling a bit deflated. But no, mate, I think that's us at the end of our... Aye. David Anderson, what's he saying? I subscribed because I went to school and played football with Jim Laughlin and Paul Hartley
brilliant.
and found this, thought my sort of people I'm in. Thank you very much. We had both of them on. I'm still actually in touch with Paul regularly. Paul's a great guy. By the way, David, to be fair, we actually met Paul. He was with Cove Rangers. I went for an overnight stay with my missus to the Westerwood Hotel in Cumbernauld, and I actually propositioned Paul at that moment in time, mate. I asked him to come on the pod and talk to us, and what a guy, man, honestly, as you said. So, and Jim Laughlin's been on speaking to us as well. When I literally say speaking to us, me and Ryan weren't talking, it was just Jim. Remember, the full episode was just Jim talking to us. And
that's what you are, no,
I think I asked him one question, and I thought you go mental and rants, mate, but he just went nuts.
That's what makes a good podcast.
Oh, 100%.
That's a good podcast, aye.
100%. Barry Bannon, David, to be fair with you, Barry Bannon's on regular with us as well, mate. So, just to let anybody new that's subscribed, it's not just my Coopham and my Big Red Coopham and Ryan's wee White Coopham that you get to see. Big Player Scotto as well, obviously. When he's not out doing that, he's on here. Or he's hanging off a chair in the quarter jail or whatever, I don't know. He might actually be doing that, don't know. Depending on how many tips he's made. In fact, young teams no chased him. But to be fair, Barry Barron's on here as well, regularly, David. Always a great insight with him. We do weekly recordings as well up in the Morven Lounge up in Springburn as well. So any new subscribers are more than welcome to join us. It is free. We don't charge for subscription at all. We just like coming on and having a chat with you guys and interacting with as many comments as we can. And we do nights like tonight, the dial-in. Another opportunity for the fans to come and join us. And GG's going to nip into the Crown Bar and ask if anyone wants to join. It's not a boy band or anything, GG. We're not looking for members, mate. Know what I mean? We're just a podcast, mate. We just like having a chat, so we're not...
To be fair, if we were a boy band, we'd be in that direction, wouldn't it be one direction?
Would be wrong direction. It would be wrong direction.
We Alan's of these singers playing the Scotto.
Big Alan would be Styles, but no the way you think, by the way. Probably Nobby Styles.
No Harry Styles.
No Harry Styles, Nobby Styles. But where are you, David? If it's 1 a.m. there, where are you? Let us know. Clearly not in Glasgow. Sometimes about Ryan rants, I do think that is the time right enough when we do get off of here sometimes. Sometimes you let him talk first, man. It's like being at a Ken Dodd concert. used to need to phone him and say, by the way, it's a 5 o'clock show on here in the pavilion. I'm not going to get home to 11:30. Ken's on.
I actually watched that episode last night, still game. She looks like Ken Dodd.
The boys at school used to call her a diddy man. It's not that, by the way. She answered the door with a tickle stick, I know. Brilliant.
That's out of the window, isn't it? Oh.
Aye. We're sorry to hear about Huey Casey's wife, right? Old Huey through your cellar the window.
Huey Dodd.
Aye. Huey spoke fundies, did he? Aye. No, Doddy.
No, did he? So it was good to end a bit of a positive note on it.
No, 100%. Listen, folks, I hope everybody here has an amazing time with whatever you're doing at all for Christmas. If you want an amazing laugh, go and watch the Christmas episode for me and the boys for last week. We put it out at the weekend. If some of you haven't seen it, you have, fantastic. You still taking offence to me calling you a pair of nutters, JP. It's true, you know. No, that's why, honestly, that's why, see whenever any of these comments come in now, that's why none of it gets, I suppose that's a good thing about, you know, being on here. It's, nothing gets taken seriously, you know. And this is a time of the year for, in my opinion, nothing to be taken seriously. It's all about having a good time. If you've got a young family, you've got a family at all, even if you're on your own, try and make the best of any situation you have. But most importantly, have a very Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Unfortunately for you guys, you won't need to listen to us again until after the Motherwell game on Boxing Day. But pretty sure you'll all be thrilled to bits about that. But no, I want everybody to have a great time.
Yep.
And the next time we're on, let us know how your time was, because I'll certainly let you know how my time was when I'm back under my red light again. So, Ryan, cheers again, mate, for coming on and having a chat.
Anytime, mate, anytime. I
know, to be fair with you, Angie, I really thought about maybe saying a wee bit of a prayer there, but I'll leave that for his 10:30 show tonight, because after watching that, you're going to need a prayer or two. You might even need a priest into your house, or that dirty stuff that's going to happen.
But, they go to confession. They go to confession with Isaac.
Aye. Forgive me, Farah, for I have sinned. It's been 2 hours since my last confession. 2 hours later, back screaming at the chapel door. Open the door, quick, I've got something else to tell you. Aye, just went in with the day's paper. But no, listen, it's all about Abu Dhabi. Wow.
Brilliant.
Right, okay. Amazing.
Brilliant.
Thank you for tuning in, David.
Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. It's amazing to hear people from various sides of the continent. Put it this way, it'll be Christmas, and it'll be Christmas we go there quicker than it will be with us anyway, that's for sure. But no, again, thank you very much to everybody that's joined us tonight, and to everybody that's put in the comments. Thank you very much to our 2 callers tonight, my dad and to Francis. It's always a pleasure taking the time for us to come on. If you do, I keep saying this every week, if you do want to be part of the dial-in, you have to get in contact with us. Messages on the social media, and we will organise a slot for you. We are a friendly bunch, so that's what today. Messages, and then you can come on and see my red light for the real life. I'm going to wear, by the way, see after the night, man, I'm going to wear a face mask next week.
Tell you honestly, a pair of handcuffs and people think you're in Amsterdam, man.
Aye, people think I'm one of the people in the windy.
Like, come on, what's he mean?
Please let me go. Please release me, let me go. I'm innocent. I've not done anything. The Glasgow guy sitting on a podcast with Hunkoss on. I think I'm up in Big Allen's house again. But no, above all else, everybody, take
Merry
care.
Christmas. Take care.
Merry
Hail,
Christmas. And a massive hail to every one of you. Okay?
Have a
Bye-bye.
great time.